I see people saying, I don't see nobody from the government. The only person I see is from the Lacovia police station. How you think the aid got there? You think they just swam into Jamaica?
So how will we pay for the Jamaica we say we want? And that's a question we've avoided for far too long. You see, Hurricane Melissa has now ended our ability to pretend. You know, she tore away our excuses. It exposed the truth that we've tiptoed around for decades, that Jamaica has been building its future on hope, luck, you know, taking for granted the good weather that we have.
So we're here again with another fresh update. Hope everybody doing good as always. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. That way you don't miss out on any of the updates. Leave a like on this video, it will be greatly appreciated. Now today we'll be sharing a video of a Prime Minister Andrew Holness finally responding to the critics. A lot of people have been criticizing the government, saying that them a move too slow and the money where them get to spend too a little bit. And Prime Minister Andrew Holness definitely went on a rant, also giving some clarification as in regards to the $10 million and how it should be spent. Also, a deadly accident happened on Highway 2000. We're going to share some details on that shortly. And that happened a short while ago also. And we have Lisa and again with basically giving some constructive guidelines or blueprint on the way forward for Jamaica. So we're going to share that. So again, drop a like and subscribe. So we'll start off with the accident that happened on Highway 2000 a short while ago. Yes, it has been confirmed that 5 persons confirmed dead. And the reason for the accident is actually one of them highest bus there. And the reason for the accident is that one of the tire blew out. And we have seen some accident. I think this is one of the most deadliest accident, if not the most of them all since here. And 5 persons, I saw a video with persons just lying down. I wonder how them clothes come off of them and all of them. So, yo, it's not a pretty sight, people. You see me? It's definitely not a pretty sight. I want to say condolences to the friends and families of the person that lost their life in this accident. And there are several others that are injured they are now undergoing treatment. Luckily, the police, they got to the scene quick and early and they were able to start getting persons medical help or transport persons as quickly as possible. But unfortunately that 5 persons did not make it through. So yeah, very, very rough people. And as I see another video and it's not a pretty sight at all. Just by looking at the bus, you can tell how wicked this accident is. You see me? Yeah. Anyhow, we're gonna move on. Prime Minister Andrew Holness was a bit wicked in Parliament yesterday after addressing the critics. Yeah, a lot of people are saying, oh, them now see the government. They must say one-on-one people when they not even have it and them are push out for help, but them now see Prime Minister and team or the government and a whole. Prime Minister Andrew Holness got addressed that, also give some clarification on the $10 million that was allotted to the MPs. Listen to this.
I see people saying, I don't see nobody from the government. The only person I see is from the Lacovia police station. How you think the aid got there? You think they just swam into Jamaica? The government opened the airport. The government cleaned the road. The government escorted them. Don't talk nonsense. To ensure that all the people who you see out there who want to give aid to Jamaica, that they are able to do it. You think they come here without ensuring that there are security guarantees? Who you think gives them the security guarantees? You think the stock that they have just move automatically, just materialize where they are? How many convoys you see moving with the security forces carrying them through? Don't talk nonsense about there was no government presence. Just to be clear, Mr. Speaker, I know there's a lot of talk about government getting money and not using it, and we have to be so careful that these kinds of careless talk. Now, for the people, Mr. Speaker, I'm about to say something, and I just want to be clear. For the people who are saying it, and gaining influence on persons who don't understand, it is dangerous because there is a public that believes that somehow we sit here and we are trying to somehow take away money that has come for the relief of the people. Let me say this clearly, Mr. Speaker. It would be morally reprehensible for anyone to be using any government resources in any way that has been given or borrowed for relief or any other action to mitigate the damage of this hurricane for any personal or private gain. And if there is any such thing happening, I don't have to wait for any other entity to ferret it out or find it. I will find it myself. Let it be on the record, Mr. Speaker, that this is not the first disaster that this government has had to address. There was never a question about the administration of resources for Hurricane Beryl. No donor said, what I gave, I don't know how it was accounted for. Let it be clear that for the entire administration of the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, where the government of Jamaica executed the largest social protection program in the history of Jamaica. There wasn't even one question of misappropriation of funds. So I want to be clear, Mr. Speaker, that those persons who wish to tarnish myself, tarnish the government, you are tarnishing Jamaica with a lie. I am not worried so much, Mr. Speaker, because wherever I travel and I meet with the international community, you know what they say? They say, you have done an amazing job. And I'm not joking, Mr. Speaker. I don't have to say it about myself. The international officers who come here representing the international agencies, they go, and I don't ask them to, they go and say it publicly. Direct contradiction of the nonsense that some people are saying. So I know that it hasn't done any damage at that level, because they know, they see, they understand, they know the systems in place, and they know what would have happened in other countries. And they have confidence in the government. But some of them who are saying these things are people who know better, and they mislead. They mislead the people. So let me be clear in this parliament that this government will manage this disaster without any form of corruption, misdirection, maladministration, malfeasance, misfeasance. We are going to manage this disaster with the highest level of probity and integrity and accountability. And it is necessary to do this, Mr. Speaker, because the scale of what we need in support from the international community can only be gotten if the international community feels that we have the institutional framework to ensure that whatever resources are made available are properly used. So one can only say that those people who are spreading those rumors are determined to bring down Jamaica. They do not support Jamaica. So as I stand here, Mr. Speaker, my statement is also a warning to us. Let's be clear. It is a warning to the government. But it is my duty also to dismiss and dispel falsehood.
Sorry, people, leave your thoughts on that in the comment section. Another thing I want to know, for share an opinion on this video from Lisa Anna, and me want to know if you agree with her in the comment section, because she always give some some very constructive opinions. And this just looked like the blueprint Jamaicans can use, or the government can exercise basically in terms of moving forward and also recovering from Hurricane Melissa. And most people are lobby for Melissa and I even be the Prime Minister of Jamaica based on the things that she love about, the things that she talk about, and the insights where she always share. And this is another one. So listen this and tell me one thing.
Not on resilience, not on productivity, and certainly not on shared national responsibility. And what storms like Melissa are not just weather events. They're X-rays revealing what we've built well, what we've not, what we've ignored, and the choices that we refuse to make. Because for decades, poverty remained hidden until disaster ripped the curtain off again. But this time, the entire country saw it. The fragile houses, the precarious lives of people one gust of wind away from losing everything. And as a former MP, I walked those communities. I would help the same families year in, year out repeatedly with housing assistance because we just don't have systems built to give strong support where that is necessary. It's not that they lacked strength. It's just that we now don't have the systems. And the truth is, we shouldn't be surprised as to what has happened with Melissa, because in 40 years, Jamaica has been devastated by storms like Gilbert, like Ivan, Dean, Beryl, and now her, each one more destructive than the last. And climate models say that the storms in the Caribbean are going to get even more intense, 30 to 50% more. And when you have a vulnerable family who even just has a gust of rain or bad wind, they can lose everything. And sometimes it takes them 4 to 7 years to recover, if they ever do. So I wrote something very uncomfortable on Sunday. You can scroll back and read it. Because no nation can survive that cycle. No nation should accept it. And what I'm about to say is very uncomfortable. You might not want to hear what I'm going to say. Because, Jamaicans are demanding better, safer homes, stronger safety nets, dignity in disaster relief, government urgency. And they are right. But these demands force the uncomfortable question I've been asking. How will we pay for the Jamaica we say we want? Because everything we want, resilience, dignity, protection, costs money, real money. The Inter-American Development Bank and the World Bank, estimates that Melissa caused about $8.8 billion in damage, US dollars. That's 41% of our GDP in 2024. Almost half of a year's economy vanished in a couple of hours. And the aftershocks, you see what the aftershocks are. Loss of income, ruined crops, weakened and devastated infrastructure. And that's going to go on. But if we're serious about creating a resilient Jamaica, we must also confront the realities that are shaping us at the moment. And so I've repeated and Long says that we need to, grow our economy. I've given solutions for that, but that's going to take time and investment, and we don't have time. But there's some realities shaping us, which puts us in a culture that is not urgent. So let us take remittances. In 2021, they were more than 25% of our GDP. Today, they're still 19%, making us one of the most remittance-dependent countries in the region. I mean, in COVID, when tourism shut down, it was a remittance, the foreign exchange from remittances that kept us going. But nearly 70% of what we get in remittances goes to consumption, not investment. And households relying heavily on overseas support or one phone call away from getting money because they might not be working often don't participate in the formal economy, not because they're lazy, but because they may have no opportunity to get a job or a job doesn't exist for them. And so the question is no longer if Jamaica must change, it's what kind of change we're prepared to pursue, pay for and uphold. Because you see the countries that we admire, that we talk about, free healthcare, Sweden, Denmark, and all of the social safety nets that they have, Norway, Finland, they didn't stumble into fairness or resilience. They built it through contribution, productivity, and accountability. So for example, Sweden's tax to GDP, That ratio is 41%. I mean, can hear some Jamaicans say, boy, I may not pay that out of my work. Come in and say what I pay for. Their tax to GDP ratio is nearly double ours. But their system works because people see the results and because everyone has obligations, not just rights. So in Sweden, unemployment benefits require job seeking and training. In Denmark, welfare recipients must join activation programs. And in Finland, benefits come with personal responsibility agreement. Them not gonna give you nothing unless you give back something. Yeah, so the thing's set over there. So. And these societies operate on the understanding that benefits must be matched by national duty. Yeah, duty. And this is what Jamaica must confront, because nothing in those societies is free. Nothing. Because they realize that compassion has a cost, dignity has a cost, security has a cost. And their systems work because citizens accept that strong social protections require strong personal responsibility. So you can't demand world-class services while avoiding the obligations that sustain them. Now contrast that with Jamaica. You know, our tax to GDP ratio appears similar to some of the richer countries. Our tax revenue per person, though, is much lower. And so this limits our ability to fund essential services and resilience projects. And I can just hear some people say, boy, at least I'm not paying no more tax. And we don't want to increase tax. I'm not suggesting that. But I'm just showing you the realities. Because disaster recovery consumes a large share of our annual budget, and it forces us to choose between rebuilding and development. And those pressures are worsened by decades of low productivity growth in our Jamaican society. We have among the lowest productivity in the Caribbean, and the reality is that only 10% of Jamaican homes meet climate resilient standards. And Melissa exposed that weakness brutally. So let me be clear. We can't demand first world services with our levels of productivity. The math simply doesn't balance. So if we want stronger homes, climate protection, if we want dependable public services, we must accept that resilience requires revenue, and revenue requires shared responsibility. Not just the wealthy, not just the diaspora, not just government, all of us. All of us. A society that expects high quality services must be a society to embrace productivity, duty, and national discipline. And transformation requires not just a government willing to change, but a people at all levels, from the working class to the middle to owners of capital, all people willing to change with it. So Melissa has already rewritten our past. We can't go back there. But the cost of our future is productivity. It's a change in mindset. What have we all done lately? That's why I guess everybody's showing what they're doing on social media. But the only thing standing between us and the Jamaica we deserve is our own self-sabotaging inertia. The excuses, the low expectations. Oh, I'm not getting a care package. I could go on. And yes, I'm the first one to tell you that the least among us must be taken care of. But we must have national discipline now. We have to change our mindset. You see, the mindset that we hold on to, the world has already outgrown it. And if we don't break it now, we will continue to walk backwards into the future with our eyes wide shut, and Jamaica will be left behind.